Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the King of L.A. Sports Report. I'm your host, the King of L.A. Sports, Richard Lopez, and this weekend was a great weekend for Los Angeles sports. We have our Los Angeles Dodgers in first place. The Lakers have a new head coach and are looking forward to the next season, and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are in second place in their division, but they are also the second best team in baseball. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get started. Okay, Dodger fans, it's time for my favorite part of the show, and yours, the DodgersLowdown.com report. Yep, it was a good weekend for Dodger fans, as you can see. If you happen to notice around my set, I kind of have a little theme for the Dodgers series this weekend. Little theme for what kind of happened in Frisco. But that's neither here nor there. You guys can look around for yourself. Just background items, that's all. Nothing in particular. Okay, as most of you Dodger fans know, the Dodgers are a game and a half in first place after going to San Francisco and sweeping our arch rival hated San Francisco Giants. The team was led by Yasiel Puig. Puig against Tim Lincecum Friday night. 3 triples, Dodger record. I believe that hasn't happened since 1901. And he must have Tim Lincecum's number. Puig always does well. And the Dodgers, for the first time, in my opinion, all season, were firing on all cylinders. Puig is batting .310. D. Gordon's batting .294. And they're pretty much leading the team. If I would have said at the beginning of the year D. Gordon was going to lead the Dodgers, you guys would have called me a liar. But he's put in the work, and you can totally tell on the field. He made the All-Star team, and he's making great plays on defense and doing his thing on offense. Hey, just props to D. Gordon for doing your thing, man. They gave you that opportunity, and you're not letting anybody take your job. I got to respect that. So, D. Gordon, keep doing your thing, and I'm proud to call you the second baseman of our Dodgers. You've been nothing but extraordinary this year. Yeah, D. Gordon. And another pleasant surprise, if someone could please tell Matt Kemp that the trading deadline is going to last to the end of the season, that would be a great help tremendously. Because since all the reports of him being traded, he's batted .286 in the month of July and has a .277 batting average for the whole season. And Kemp, he's been pretty healthy. He hasn't had his injury problems that he's had for the past few years. He's doing his thing. He seems comfortable. The coaches made a decision. They moved Yasiel Puig to center field. They have Kemp in right field where he's more natural. He started out his career in right field, and they're going to rotate Ethier and Crawford in left. And I think that's a good decision. Puig is the most athletic. He could probably cover the most ground. I'm kind of questioning the timing of it. They're putting him in there right now. Hopefully he can learn it, but according to Mattingly, Puig has said he's always wanted to play center field since he was young, and he's not going to let the position be taken away from him. So congratulations, Puig. You're the new center fielder. You got everyone else in their natural positions, and that might be the main reason why the Dodgers are winning. And another good reason is Mattingly hasn't been changing the lineups around as much as he was in the beginning of the season. Every game, it was something different. Now, I think there's been 3 or 4 of the same games that have had the same lineup in a row. So that's what Don Mattingly's doing. He's doing his part as a coach, trying to find the best players for the team to win. And I think he might be finding it. Frisco was playing some decent baseball, and we went into Frisco, and we completely blew them out the water. I think the closest game was the last game on Sunday, which was 4-3, and the Dodgers were doing their thing. It was good to see. If you're a Dodger fan, we had our three aces, if you ask me. Greinke, Kershaw, and Ryu. They went out there, and they shut San Fran down. Kershaw has almost 50 innings of scoreless baseball in AT&T Park, which is a hitter's ballpark, or is a pitcher's ballpark, I'm sorry. Kershaw did his thing, and he's worth every dollar of that contract he got. I believe it, and everyone else should believe it too, because he has right now, as far as pitching, he has the lowest ERA. He's 12-2. He has a 12-2 record with a 1.76 ERA. He's allowed 22 earned runs, and he has 141 Ks. And he's missed a lot of time this year, folks. That is just incredible. In my opinion, the best pitcher in baseball by far. He just needs to be able to prove it in the playoffs. But to me, by far, Clayton Kershaw is the best pitcher in baseball. That shouldn't even be an argument. And if anyone wants to bring that an argument, then, chances are you can make them look silly with their baseball knowledge. Okay, Well, moving on, let's talk about some of the other pitchers that have been highlighting the Dodgers season. Zach Greinke, he's 12-6 with a 2.74 ERA. He's allowed 40 earned runs and 140 strikeouts on the season. Greinke, you could be an ace on most teams, but you're behind King Kershaw, so I don't know what to tell you. Just keep doing your thing. Dodgers love you. Dodgers fans love you, and we respect what you're doing. Okay. And we have Hyun-Jin Ryu, who's 12-5 on the year with a 3.44 ERA. And he's allowed 45 earned runs, and he has 105 Ks on the season. Ryu put the team on his back in the beginning of the season, got some rest, and now he's coming back and he's pitching well. We got to give him some credit for that too. A pitcher that's pretty much struggling right now is Dan Haren. Dan Haren actually is 8-8. He has a 4.49 ERA. He's allowed 61 earned runs and he has 92 strikeouts. I was hoping for a little bit more from Dan Haren, but hey, I can't argue. He's been there every game. He's gone his 6 innings at least. You know, what more can we ask from the guy? And to the biggest surprise of the entire season, Joc Beckett. He came back. Luckily, he didn't have to go on the DL. Joc Beckett is 6-5 with a 2.52 ERA, which is just unheard of for Joc Beckett. Everyone thought he lost his touch, you know, after leaving Boston, but apparently not. He's came back and had a comeback year. He's only allowed 30 earned runs. He has 99 strikeouts on the season, which is impressive for Joc Beckett. So hopefully he can keep that up and keep the Dodgers. You know, he's the 5th starter. Well, actually, he's probably the 4th now with Haren having all these struggles. But all our Dodger pitching is great, if you ask me. We could have a little bit more help with Dan Haren, and that'll bring me to my next subject. There's been a lot of trade rumors surrounding Los Angeles Dodgers outfielder Matt Kemp. A couple of the teams that were named were the Seattle Mariners, and the team that's been named the most was the Boston Red Sox, and some kind of straight-up trade for Jon Lester. The trade is, the Dodgers don't want to give up any of their prospects. Ned Colletti's made that very, very clear. He wants to give up no prospects. He wants to just give up a player with a big salary and hopefully get something in return. But the things that I've been hearing are Jon Lester for Matt Kemp straight up from Boston. Lester is Boston's ace. So the Dodgers would like to have him, but at the expense of Matt Kemp. Both sides are kind of hesitant. The Boston wants Joc Pederson, who I'll get into in a little bit. Boston really wants him, but we only want to give up Kemp. And Boston doesn't want to give any prospects back. They just want to give up Lester. So there's kind of a stalemate there. But in my opinion, I don't think any moves will be made. I think the Dodgers are going to run with what they have. Everyone's starting to play well. I think the players are more comfortable with their roles right now. Of course, none of them are going to want to sit the bench. They all make tons of money and they all have started their whole lives. But you got to take into account what's best for the team. And right now, what's best for the team is to have Puig in center, or until they call up Joc Pederson, the best thing for the team is to have Puig in center field, Matt Kemp in right field, and in my opinion, Ethier in left with Crawford coming off the bench. I think Ethier, with the right amount of swings, the right amount of at-bats, he'll start to get hot. And Ethier is a streaky hitter. Let's not forget, a couple years ago, he had I think it was over 30 game hitting streak, and he was a few games back from the record, and that was just impressive by Andre Ethier. He just needs the at-bats. That's all. He's not getting the at-bats right now, so it's hard for anyone to be impressive without getting the at-bats. Okay, so you got to give the guy at-bats if you want to get a good look at him. And the biggest concern in the beginning of the season for the Dodgers was our bullpen. Our bullpen in the beginning of the season was the worst bullpen in almost the entire league. We had the most innings pitched. We had one of the highest ERAs. We were giving up runs. Now, our bullpen kind of has settled down, and we're kind of coming to our own, if you would say. And another big shocker this year, our 2 top bullpen pitchers, J.P. Howell and Brandon League. They lead the bullpen in ERA, and it's very refreshing to see. Howell has a 1.26 ERA, and League's is a 2.0 ERA, which is great. I'm very impressed with Brandon League. I was giving him a hard time in the beginning of the season. Now he's one of the better pitchers out of our pen. Now I can't give him a hard time. I got to respect him. So shout out to Brandon League and all of you that respected Brandon League before then. I know I was one of the ones that gave him a hard time. And there were some of you guys out there, like the owner of Dodgers Lowdown. I'm going to give him credit right now on camera. Eric, you had faith in League for the entire season. So hey, props to you, Eric. That's why you're the owner of DLD. You're a pretty smart guy when it comes to Dodger baseball, I'll tell you that. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I had to give him some props, because I was the one in the beginning of the season that wasn't too sure about Brandon Lee. And Eric, the owner, always told me, have faith, it's bad when people turn on him. And now I see why. He's coming back, and now I feel kind of sad that I bashed him so much. But anyway, I'm giving him his respect. And a real man admits when he's wrong and can give someone their respect. So there it is. Lee, you got my respect. Just don't mess up anymore, or else you'll lose it. All right. And Kenley Jansen, he has a high ERA, but Kenley Jansen has 30 saves and 66 strikeouts. And he's starting to hit his mark right now. He's coming in, and that ball is moving more than ever. He's just doing his thing. Kenley, I hope he can keep it up. You got Wilson right there. Jansen has solidified his spot as the closer. The Dodgers don't need to trade for a closer. There was rumors that the Phillies were interested in Jonathan Papelbon, or the Dodgers were interested in the Phillies' Jonathan Papelbon, but he blows he's been blowing some saves recently, and I don't want that type of pitcher. I'd rather have Kenley in there. He's homegrown. I would like to see him take us to the playoffs because I think that slider, his fastball that cuts, the cutter, is an amazing pitch, and it's hard for a lot of these guys to see. As you seen last night, if you watched the game, you got Ugla and a few other Giants that couldn't hit that ball. It was moving too much. So yeah, I'm very happy with the Dodgers. As you guys can tell, my set is properly themed for what happened over the weekend. As you can tell, it doesn't take a genius to look around the set and kind of see where my theme for this week is. So yeah, the Dodgers, they're doing their thing, and we got some great minor leaguers. A couple of guys who should have already got the call. Alex Guerrero, he's come back. It's been a couple of weeks, and he's got the call to AAA. He's tearing it up. He was batting .371 in the minor league systems before the biting incident by Miguel Olivo, who bit off his ear. And then also yesterday, it was one of Guerrero's first games in the minors, our AAA, and the Isotopes got in a huge rumble with the Reno Aces, and it just turned into it was a bad rumble, one of the worst rumbles I ever seen. And they showed Guerrero, man, he didn't want no part of that stuff. He was like, man, I already got my ear bit off. I ain't even trying to get involved in this. Pederson too, he was kind of out of the mix. These guys are about to get the call, and the last thing they need is for them to get hurt. So, Joc, and then that'll bring me to Joc Pederson. Guerrero looks like he might get the call by the end of the summertime because he's doing his thing, and he belongs with better competition. He had that whole year off, and now he's actually into his game, and he's doing his thing. And that brings me to Joc Pederson, our second top prospect that we have. He's the real deal, folks. Don Mattingly has said he is the best natural center fielder in the Dodger organization. I hope they can find a spot for him. I really do. If they are going to make a trade, I hope they trade Ethier or Crawford. Sorry, ladies. I know a lot of you are Ethier fans, but I'm just talking about what's best for baseball. If they do make a trade, I'm hoping they don't, but if they do, I'm hoping it's Crawford or Ethier, move Kemp back to left, Puig to right, and get Joc in center field because he's crushing the ball in AAA. He doesn't belong there anymore. He's outlived his life in AAA, and he's ready for the big time. The Dodgers owe it to him. He's better than most of these players on major league rosters. So I hope they find a spot for him pretty soon so he can be maybe that spark that they need, the young spark, to keep them rolling into the playoffs. Because right now, they're looking good, but I still think they might need like a little spark, and Joc Pederson might be that spark. So watch out for Joc Pederson. He should be getting the call within the next month or so. And that is almost all I have for you today with my DodgersLowdown.com report. As you can see, my wall is blank. It's covered up by a broom because this week I'm sponsored by all brooms in Southern California and Northern California. The brooms have sponsored me this week. In honor of the Dodgers sweep in San Francisco, I'm sponsored by brooms. So thank you, brooms, for the sponsorship. And if you want to sponsor the show, just give me an email, richardlopez020@yahoo.com. And we're also, DodgersLowdown.com is looking for experienced writers for the DodgersLowdown.com website. And we want people out there to promote social media for us. So if any of you are interested, go to DodgersLowdown.com or look up DodgersLowdown@yahoo.com. Emails on the screen. Look us up. Let us know if you have experienced writing or you want to help us promote our website, make memes, help us with social media, anything. If you guys feel you could help with the DodgersLowdown.com website and Facebook page, and also help us with some promotion, give us an email. We're always looking for new help, but there's only one stipulation. You have to be a Dodger fan. You have to be a diehard Dodger fan. Because if you're not a diehard Dodger fan and you go into that DodgersLowdown.com chat room, they will eat you alive. So don't pretend to be a Dodger fan if you're not. So all real Dodger fans, if you're interested in the DodgersLowdown.com website, hit us up, send us an email, and let us know what it is your particular specialty is. And yeah, that's what I have. And we also, another side note I want to let everybody know, the trade deadline is Thursday. And we at DodgersLowdown.com want to let you know that we are going to be working 24/7 for the rest of the week until Thursday at midnight to let you guys know the latest news, updates, and possible rumors about trades with the Dodgers or even any other team in Major League Baseball. So if you were looking for news and rumors and reports, make sure you tune in to DLD on Facebook and DodgersLowdown.com on the internet. You can find us everywhere. We're on Vine, Dodgers Lowdown at Vine, on Instagram, on Twitter, and just any social media site you can think of, we're there. Just look up Dodgers Lowdown. Yeah, and I believe, Dodger fans, that's all I have for you today. Let's support our boys as we rematch the Braves for the NL division title. So hopefully the Dodgers can put a beat down on the Braves like they did last year, and we had all Dodger Stadium doing the tomahawk chop. I'll be honest, when that was going on and everyone was doing it, the game wasn't over, I wasn't doing it. But once the game was over, I was all over it because I was very nervous last year. But the Braves are a good baseball team, and it looks to be a good series out there at Chavez Ravine. So good luck, Dodgers. And that's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, it's the King of L.A. sports. Oh my goodness. Oh, you sign anywhere, just anywhere. Can't get a copy of this. There's no way. I've seen you before.
Oh, hey, King.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, what do you think about Mike Trout this year?
He's doing very good. Excellent 5-tool player, but he's no Yasiel Puig, that's for sure.
All right, there.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Are you the King of L.A. sports?
Yeah, that's me. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, of course.
So how do you feel about the Clippers this season?
Clippers are going to be good. It's nice to see another team in LA actually making moves. All right, take it easy, man.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Richard Lopez, the king of Los Angeles sports. If it's happening in Los Angeles, it's happening with the king. Cam Newton, thank you for coming to visit the king.
No problem.
I promise to always report truthfully about the Panthers.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
60 minutes of play a day. What am I, a child?
Absolutely.
You know you're talking to royalty?
Yes, sir.
Are you calling out royalty?
Maybe.
You must not know me. You're using a very unsettling tone.
Okay.
That's why Darrell Reeves is going to have 6 interceptions against you this year.
Excuse me?
That's why the Panthers aren't going to win the division. That's why RG3 is better than you.
Whoa.
Okay, fans, welcome back. Now it's time to talk NBA basketball. And when I say NBA basketball, I mean the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, we finally have a head coach. We went over 2 months without having a head coach. We finally have a head coach, and he is former Laker great Byron Scott. Yeah, I'm going to give him a round of applause. At first, I wasn't too thrilled with the signing, but after I looked more into it, I said, you know what? He's probably the best option we have. So, hey, I'm happy for it. And the best part is he's a Laker legend. Byron Scott, he's coached. He was assistant coach on the Kings. He was specialized in helping those guys with their three-point shooting. Then he got his first head coaching gig with the New Jersey Nets, and they were struggling before he got there. And upon his arrival, he took them to the NBA Finals, where they lost to the Lakers. And yeah, they got swept. They got swept by the Lakers in the finals, but they were a great team. They made it there, so you got to give them their credit. Jason Kidd and the boys, you know, they had Kenyon Martin when he was going, and they were one of the first teams to run one of those fast-paced offenses that was exciting. So hopefully Byron Scott can do something similar. He had went to New Orleans and Cleveland. In New Orleans, his first 2 years, he was a under 500 coach. He had a lot of bad players and bad talent. And then in the 2008 season, he actually got the Hornets to the second best record in the Western Conference Finals, and he was named to the All-Star game in 2008. He had Chris Paul, and he got Chris Paul to play well, the rest of the boys over there to play well. So Byron Scott, I mean, he does coach. He is a good coach. So at first I wasn't excited, and now I kind of am. Laker legend, 3-time NBA champion, 1984 Rookie of the Year. Byron Scott, man. You know, Laker fans, we gotta love it. We gotta love it. You know, he had some bad seasons. He took the chance in 2010, and he signed with the Cavaliers just a few days before LeBron took his talents to South Beach, and he ended up having a few bad seasons there. I believe he only took the gig is because he thought he was going to have LeBron, so he didn't really fare too well over there after LeBron took his talents to South Beach. But now he's had a year off. He was a broadcaster on Time Warner Sportsnet LA for the Lakers. So I think it's a great fit. You know, this guy has Laker legend written all over him. He was part of the Showtime era. He's well respected and good friends with Kobe Bryant. Byron Scott, man. This guy, he called Kobe Bryant after they finalized the deal and told him the one thing we're going to do is we're going to work on defense. And Kobe probably thought he was talking another language when Byron Scott said defense, because D'Antoni probably never even said the word defense. Yeah, so Byron Scott, you know, I think it's a great signing by the Lakers, and I can't be happier. You know, there's no one else that was going to take that spot. You know, no one else that would have been a better fit. You know, I thought a few other guys would have been a good fit, like Kevin Ollie and others guys, but, you know, their respective schools weren't going to let them go. So Byron Scott, he's a Laker legend. He wants to play defense. And I don't know, I think this team could squeeze into the playoffs. I don't think we're going to have a bad season like everybody's saying. I think the Lakers are ready to play. They're ready to run a faster pace offense. Kobe will probably only play 30 minutes a game. Byron Scott's going to rest him. He's not going to run him into the ground like Mike D'Antoni did. Yeah, so the Lakers, they're doing their thing. You know, we don't have the best players around, but we tried in free agency. We did as best as we could to get Carmelo, and we were a long shot to get Carmelo. We ended up as the runner-up. So the Lakers have been doing their thing. LeBron's representatives were impressed by what the Lakers had did, and the Lakers are, you know, they impressed. They use Hollywood to their advantage when they get players to come and visit them. And I also heard that the reason the Lakers were waiting so long to hire head coaches because they wanted to see if Doc Rivers was going to step down from the Clippers job. And that makes sense because they wanted to wait and no one knew why they were waiting. And after those reports came out, it made perfect sense. Why wouldn't you want the Lakers, or why wouldn't you want the Doc Rivers if you're the Lakers? So that's why they waited. They were probably up front with Byron Scott. They probably didn't say, we're waiting on Doc Rivers. They probably said, we're looking into some other pieces. We just want to wait to see. That's why Byron Scott had 3 interviews, which is kind of disrespectful. But hey, nevertheless, this is his dream job, and he's finally got it. So congratulations, Byron Scott. I hope the Lakers do well this year, and I hope it's because of you. And I'm going to get into some of the changes and personnel that have been made so far. So here they are. The Lakers have actually... Oh, yeah, another thing about Byron Scott. He's from Inglewood, California. He's a local boy. He went to Morningside High School. He's from Inglewood. So yeah, that's also a good thing. You got a hometown kid, won some championships with the Lakers. Now he's coming back home to coach with the Lakers. Hopefully he can bring a championship to the Lakers. That would be a great career if you ask me. Okay, but Byron Scott, man, Laker legend. What can you say? Now let's get into some of these players that the Lakers have brought in. I'm going to start off with Carlos Boozer. Boozer was amnestied by the Chicago Bulls a few weeks ago, and the Lakers actually outbid everybody for Boozer's services with the amnesty waiver wire. Boozer, they actually bid over like $3.5 million, 3.3 or something like that to acquire Boozer's services. And Boozer believes he's going to be the starting power forward. And I don't know, I guess I have to agree with him. We got Jordan Hill, who we signed to a 2-year deal. We re-signed Xavier Henry. So Jordan Hill, a lot of people are saying they're going to run him at the 5. The Lakers also signed Ed Davis from Memphis, who was a free agent this year, who was another power forward who could also play small. We've made some signings, but ladies and gentlemen, my favorite acquisition this year, Jeremy Lin. He is my new favorite Laker. I'm gonna be honest. When Linsanity came out a few years ago, I was disgusted. I hated Linsanity. Every time I turned on SportsCenter, there was like Linsanity or Can Lin Do It or Linning or Linning of You. Anything that you can think of that rhyme with the word Lin, SportsCenter was using. And at first I was upset with it. Now that Linsanity has come to Los Angeles, I'm on board. I love it. Bring all the attention. I love it. I hope Jeremy Lin can get back to his form he was in New York. You know, he's from California. He went to Stanford. He's a smart kid. A lot of people, we have a good, very well populated Asian American community out here that would love to get behind Jeremy Lin, as they do Hung Jin Ryu or any other Asian Americans that play sports, which is great. You know, it helps the teams and it's good for the sport. And Jeremy Lin is my new favorite player. I hope he tears it up with the Lakers. I hope he can get, have some games where he puts up 30 or 40. Because I remember when the Lakers went to play the Knicks during Linsanity, Kobe said he didn't really know who Jeremy Lin was, and Jeremy Lin put up like 40 points. And after the game, Kobe said, yeah, he knew who he was now. So Jeremy Lin, I hope you come and do your thing in Los Angeles. I know a lot of my friends, they love Jeremy Lin. I have a lot of Asian American friends, and they love Jeremy Lin. They think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So Jeremy Lin, welcome to Los Angeles. You're the King of L.A. sports favorite player, and hopefully I can get an interview sometime if you're not too busy. I would love it because you're my favorite player, and that says something. I'm the King of L.A. sports, and you're my favorite player. And yeah, Jeremy Lin, congratulations. You're on my favorite list. Linsanity, I love it. Okay, and also a few other side notes. The Lakers re-signed Swaggy P to a 3-year, $21 million deal, which is good. Him and his girlfriend, Iggy Azalea. I think that's how you say her name, the fancy song. She's Swaggy P. He's doing his thing. He's back in LA. Hopefully he can put up some points. I think he's going to be coming off the bench. He doesn't want to, but he probably will be coming off the bench. So Swaggy P, do your thing this year, boy. I love it. You have Kobe to help you out. You're not going to be the vocal point of the team, so you might be able to put up some big numbers coming off the bench. And the final issue I have with the Lakers is they let go of Paul Gasol. It's not really an issue because I'm not too upset with it. I respect Pau for everything he's done. He gave us 2 championship rings, or helped with that, got us to the NBA Finals. In my heart, he's going to retire. He should retire a Laker. He got his rings with the Lakers. Everyone pretty much knows him as a Laker because that's where he won his championships. So, but I mean, he went to a good team with the Bulls. Let's be real. The Bulls have a great team. They have Jalen Rose. They have Pau Gasol. They have Joakim Noah, and that just to name a few. And they're also in the hunt to land Kevin Love. The Bulls and the Cavs are both trying to make pushes for Kevin Love. The Cavs probably have the best offer with Andrew Wiggins and Anthony Bennett, but the Bulls are making a good offer, so that's why it's taking so long. Yeah, and I'm excited about the season. It couldn't be worse than last season. I'm almost guaranteeing that. Actually, I'm going to guarantee that. This season cannot be worse than last season. If it is, then Byron Scott's got to go after the first year. But I highly doubt it will be. Mike D'Antoni didn't preach no offense. The players on the Lakers can develop their offense pretty much on their own. They need to be taught defense. They can form up a system, but defense needs to be the first issue. It really does. Because look at the Spurs. What do? They specialize on defense and team offense. That's what the Lakers need to do. It might take a while to build some chemistry, but we need to start that. We need to start it now. So, I'm pushing for the Lakers. They're my favorite team in LA. The Clippers, we will talk about them next week because they have a lot going on with their ownership issues, and if Donald Sterling will even let go of the team, CP3 and Doc Rivers might sit out the season. There's a lot going on, and I'll get into the Clippers next week. So that's all I have for you for Laker basketball today. Until next time, actually, that's all I have for you today for the show. I've had a lot to talk with Lakers and Dodgers, and that's all I have for you today. So until next time, I'm the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Facebook under the King of LA Sports. On Twitter, look up Rich Lopez, KOLASE. Look up Rich Lopez, KOLASE, at Rich Lopez, KOLASE. And if you want to sponsor the show, behind this broom, I told you this week, the broom sponsored the show this week. But usually the wall space is blank. If you want to sponsor the show, send me an email. My email is at the bottom of the screen, richardlopez020@yahoo.com. Let me know. We'll negotiate some stuff. And that's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. So until next time, I'm the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, reminding all of you out there that when you live life rich, you will never be poor, and never, never, never be afraid to roll the dice. Have a blessed day.